What is up, YouTube? Back in Madden 23. Today we're going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears. We got Justin Fields coming into his second year. He has started there with 74 overall, looking to prove that he's actually a franchise quarterback. I think he actually has a lot of potential. See if he can make the next step in this rebuild we got going on here. We got David Montgomery, number one running back on the team. I think he's actually a legit running back in the NFL. Probably going to have a pretty good few seasons here in this rebuild. We got Darnell Mooney as wide receiver number one. Had a breakout year last year, over 1,000 yards. Looking to repeat and build off of that. Wide receiver two, we got Byron Pringle coming over from Kansas City. And then we got N'Keal Harry coming over from the Patriots. He was pretty much a bust first round pick for New England. Offensive line, not looking so great. I mean, there's a couple of things to build off of. We got Jenkins at right tackle in the second season. Schofield, not so great, probably the weakest one on the line. Then we got Patrick at center. We got Whitehair at left guard, and Riley Reef, he's like 34 years old or 33 years old or something. Getting to the end of his career. Tight end, we got Cole Kmet coming into his, I think his second season. Yeah, it's gonna be his second year. It looks to be it's gonna be his third year now. But he looks to be a legit tight end, receiving threat coming out. Defensively, not looking so great, pretty much. Best player we have is Roquan Smith, who's been in trade rumors. Potentially could be getting traded in real life, but I'm definitely not going to do that on here. I want to keep him because he's the best player that we have on defense. At free safety, we got Eddie Jackson, veteran on the team, 28 years old. Strong safety, we got second round pick Jaquan Brisker. I'm going to start him at strong safety. 73 overall, normal dev, but we don't really have any other options there. And then we got Johnson at cornerback 1 and Young at cornerback 2. We got Gibson at right end, Edwards at D tackle, Jones at D tackle, and Robert Quinn, best lineman that we have, 83 overall. He only has normal dev. He's getting up there in age too, but he's still productive though. He's 32 years old. Last couple of seasons, well, last season he didn't get any sacks, but he did get 2 sacks with the 2020 season, but he had a pretty good season in 2019 with 11 sacks. So thought he had more sacks than that, but guess I was wrong in the last season. And then we also have Kyler Gordon. He was a second round pick for the Bears this season. He's a rookie. They didn't have a first round pick since they traded to get Justin Fields. But yeah, there's pretty much a lot of holes on the defense on this team. We're gonna have to try to patch all these holes up, bring in some new young talent, trade for some guys maybe. We'll see how it goes. Checking out the playbooks for the team, and we are 86% scheme fit for the West Coast zone run. So I decided to switch to Atlanta playbook, who's a West Coast zone run. Seen Atlanta make it to the Super Bowl a few times in some of these rebuilds, so it seems like their playbook's probably pretty good. So I'm gonna try it out, sticking to the regular 4-3 base defense that they had already because they're 90% scheme fit. Sticking with the regular Chicago playbook for that. Currently here at the mid-season point, we are 3-4, doing better than I thought we would. Packers are leading the division with 4-3. Lions are 2-4. Vikings are 1-5. Check out players that we have available to negotiate with. Roquan Smith, ooh, definitely want to try to bring him back. We got 133 million in cap space, so we do have plenty of money. Or should we try to trade him for draft picks? Nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to bring him back. 6 years, 105 million. Yeah, let's see what it takes. He's coming back. Nice. David Montgomery, I do want to bring him back. 5-year deal. Yeah, we can go for it. He's coming back. He's gonna be the running back for the most of the rebuild, or the rest of the rebuild. Byron Pringle, I'm gonna let him walk. Tavon Young, let him walk. These guys are both 28 years old with normal dev. So in Madden, after the age of 28, they start regressing pretty heavily unless they have like breakout seasons. So these guys are only gonna get worse as they go further into the rebuild. Dante Pettis, he's not interested in coming back. I don't really want to bring him back either. N'Keal Harry, not interested in bringing him back. Kari Blasingame, not interested in bringing him back. Yo, I don't know what the hell's going on here. End of the regular season, we ended up going 12-5 and winning the division. We're gonna be playing in the wild card against the Rams. I want to go see what's going on with this stats and see we got 11th ranked offense. Might have found a cheat code with Atlanta's offense. Third-ranked defense. Dang, all right. Defense carried us. But Justin Fields, he did pretty good in the Atlanta offense. 4,700 yards, 39 touchdowns, interceptions of 19. That's pretty high. 61% completion, 95 QB rating. Not too bad for a second year. Rushing, David Montgomery did pretty good. 1,251 yards, 4.8 per carry, 11 touchdowns. Receiving, Dante Pettis led the team with 84 catches, 1,259 yards, 16 touchdowns. Wow. Well, he's probably going to have a breakout. Byron Pringle, 78 catches, 1,055 yards, 4 touchdowns. Cole Kmet, almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Darnell Mooney, 817 yards, 9 touchdowns. What's going on here? It's crazy. All right. Defensively, Nicholas Morrow had 125 tackles. Joe Thomas, 117. See, Roquan Smith had 76 tackles. TFL's Robert Quinn had 15. Justin Jones, 11. Mario Edwards Jr. had 10. And I forgot that he was even on the team. Sacks, Robert Quinn had 15 and a half. Roquan Smith had 15 and a half. Dang. All right, nice. Kyler Gordon, rookie cornerback, had 4 interceptions. Jalen Johnson had 4 interceptions. Eddie Jackson had 2. Roquan Smith had a sack. Middle linebacker Morrow had a sack. And Jaquan Brisker, the other rookie safety, had a sack. Pretty good production from these rookies we got. We are number 2 seed. The Eagles got the bye week. Number 1 seed. We're going to be playing against the Rams. Other teams are in the playoffs. We got the Panthers against the Packers, and we got the Cardinals against the Cowboys. Here we are in the playoff game. Rams take a 7-0 lead. We tied up 7-7. Going into the second quarter, still 7-7. We kicked the field goal 17-7. 17-14, we're still winning. 24-14, we're winning. 24-17. 24-24, tied up in the third. Who's going to score next? The Rams take the lead 31-24. Are they going to win it? 31-24. We tied it up. Going into overtime. 31-31, tied up. Who's going to win? What happened? The Rams won? I didn't even see the score change. 34-31, they kicked the field goal in the snow. That's alright though. I didn't even think that we were going to make it to the playoffs, so we'll take it. Looking at the yearly awards, Jalen Hurts won MVP with the Eagles. We didn't have anybody else on here for the Bears. Coach of the year, Matt Eberflus, the Bears coach, came in 4th. Let's check out the other stats. Do we have anybody here? Dante Pettis was the 7th best for Offensive Player of the Year. Wow. Defensive Player of the Year, we got Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn coming in 6th and 7th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, nothing. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Kyler Gordon came in 2nd, the cornerback. And Jaquan Brisker came in 8th, the safety. Best quarterback, Justin Fields is not on there. Okay. Best running back, David Montgomery came in 6th. Best wide receiver, Cooper Kupp's gonna win that every year. Dante Pettis came in 4th though. It's pretty nice. Offensive line, we did not have any guys there. D-line, Robert Quinn came in 5th. Best linebacker, Roquan Smith, came in 2nd to Shaquille Barrett. Best defensive back, Jalen Johnson, came in 6th. Was there somebody else on there that I missed? Oh yeah, Kyler Gordon came in 8th, the rookie. Best kicker, Kyra Santos. 2022 season recap. The Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Colts, 24-17. Got their 2nd Super Bowl in their team history. Josh Sweat with the Eagles won the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts, we saw he won the MVP with the Eagles. Nick Sirianni won the Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year. Breece Hall, running back with the Jets, won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Lions. Looking at players that we could re-sign to bring back before free agency again, right before regular free agency starts. I don't want to bring back either one of these guys. They already went down in overall. I think they were both like 78. I'm not sure. Dante Pettis, he had a good season, but it barely did anything to him. He's still a normal dev, 76 overall, so I'm going to pass on him. N'Keal Harry, I'm going to pass. This fullback, he's a scheme fit. I mean, we do need to have a fullback because we have a running game. All right, we'll just bring him back. What else we got? Nicholas Morrow had an amazing season for us, but he's 28 years old and he's only 72 overall with normal dev. So he's not going to pretty much get any better. So we're going to look to replace him. Duke Shelley, no thanks. James O'Shaughnessy, tight end, nah. Joe Thomas, 32 years old, I'll pass. Pretty much gonna be it. Anybody else over here? All these guys still have normal div. That's gonna be it. Nathan Peterman's on the team. Got through 5 interceptions in one, I think it was like the first half or first quarter with the Bills a few years ago. How is he still in the NFL? Took me a little while to get through free agency. We brought a bunch of guys in. We got Derwin James coming over at strong safety. He's a superstar div, 95 overall. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley coming over, 87 overall with star div. We got Tremaine Edmonds coming at middle linebacker, 25 years old. He's 85 overall with star div. Got Eric McCoy coming at center. He's 26 years old with star div, 81 overall. Greg Jones, defensive tackle. He's coming over, 79 overall with star div. Van Ginkel, linebacker, left outside linebacker, 79 overall, star div, 28 years old. Greedy Williams, 25 years old, cornerback, star div. And then David Edwards, left guard, 26 years old. He has normal div, but we needed help on the offensive line. Also, I tried to get another left tackle. I think I tried to get Trent Brown, but he turned my offer down, and there wasn't anybody else that was worth trying to get that was better than what we have. So I will show y'all the lineup in a second. So this is what the lineup looks like after free agency. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 1. Osborne, wide receiver 3. And we got Mooney at wide receiver 2. The offensive line, we brought in McCoy. We brought in Patrick. Well, no, Patrick was the center. I moved him to left guard. We brought in McCoy and we brought in Edwards. And then Jones is going to be our starting left tackle. Not the ideal situation, but like I said, I tried to get somebody else, but they turned my offer down. Defensively, the linebackers look a lot better. Van Ginkel is not necessarily a scheme fit, but he's definitely way better than Sanborn at 64 overall. Edmonds isn't a scheme fit necessarily either, but it's pretty much the scheme is a field general 84, and he's a run stopper 85. So basically the same. And then the defensive line, we brought in Gaines to shore up the defensive tackle spot. Johnson is up to superstar div. Gordon is going to be our cornerback 3 since I brought in Greedy Williams. I don't know why I couldn't say that. And then we still got Brisker. I know that he looks like he has potential, but couldn't pass up Derwin James, especially when we had like over $100 million in cap space. So hopefully this helps out the team. We're about to go into the draft, maybe try to get weak spot. We got defensive tackle. We need another weak spot there. Left tackle for sure is the big one, so maybe we can try to get us a left tackle. First round of the draft, we got pick number 22 since we made the playoffs. This left tackle, it says he's a top 5 projection. We only have him 50% scouted. He says he's top 5 projection, and he's still here at pick 22, so that means that he's probably not that good. But he's definitely intriguing because we need help at left tackle big time. We don't really need a corner. We don't really need wide receiver or running back. I guess we could use a wide receiver. We don't need a middle linebacker since we just brought in Edmonds. Defensive tackle, we could use that. There's another left tackle here. All right, I'm gonna compare this left tackle with the other one. He has elite acceleration, elite jumping, elite speed, great change of direction, solid strength, A awareness, A impact blocking, A lead block, A pass block finesse. That looks pretty good, pretty intriguing. He has a elite in a couple of categories. So this guy, that's a top 5 projected. He only has decent, great, marginal, solid, good. So the other guy had elite, I think, in 3 spots. He has B pass block, C pass block finesse, A power block. Man, I think I'm gonna take the other guy. He seems to be better, just based off of my personal logic in the draft. So yeah, I'm gonna take Mac Radovic. Hell of a name. What do you got for us? Hidden dev, nice. Hopefully he has a high overall. It's coming from Texas A&M. We'll see. Here in the second round of the draft, see this wide receiver Cam Leak. He's a round 1 projected. We have 95% completion scouted on him, and he's a scheme fit playmaker. But this is what I'm saying. He's still here. But look at his key ratings: F catching traffic, F catching, F release. So that's why he's still here, because everyone sees this guy's terrible. Yeah, he's the fastest wide receiver in the draft, but he has no skill at all for catching the ball, which is what wide receivers need to do. So I was looking at everyone else. We still have this right tackle here. We don't really need that position. There's another wide receiver here, Luke Trapp. I looked at him. I like him a lot. He's a scheme fit playmaker. He's 6'4", 224 pounds. We have him 95% scouted also. And look, his catching traffic is an A. His catching is B. Deep route C, release C. He has solid, good, great. He's not necessarily an elite wide receiver per se, based off of what we see. But I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. He's probably gonna be way better than the other receiver. So, oh, he has hidden dev too, with 91 speed at 6'4", 224. He's almost tight end size. Great pick. Since I'm on a hot streak with hidden devs, I figured why not try to get another one in the 3rd round. And look, Cam Leak, wide receiver, projected to go number in the 1st round. He's still here. It's the 3rd round, so it's time to start taking chances. We don't really need wide receivers, and that's pretty much what most of these guys are. I looked at this defensive tackle. He doesn't look good at all. But what I did like was, I think it was this cornerback, Ferguson. Let me look real quick. Yeah, he has elite agility and elite speed. He ran a 4.34 at his pro day. So based off of just his physical abilities, I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. And he has normal dev, so 23 years old. So this guy we drafted in the 1st round is a 72 overall. That's kind of low, but I mean, it's better than what we have at left tackle right now, and he has hidden dev, so we'll take that. And then wide receiver, we drafted Luke Trapp, 73 overall, with hidden dev, 91 speed. He's a really big guy, so that's a great speed rating for him. The rest of the guys, the computer drafted, well, besides this guy, I drafted him, but they all have normal dev. So we got Radovic starting at left tackle with his hidden dev trait. And then also Luke Trapp, I put him at wide receiver 3. And I'm actually gonna put him in the slot 2, so he can try to get a lot more targets. And maybe we can get him to break out. Defense still looks the same, no changes on there. The mid-season point, we are 3-4, last in the division, but everyone's only got 4 wins, so it's pretty much up for grabs at this point. Players that we can bring back potentially that are ready to negotiate. Jalen Johnson, definitely want to bring him back. He's only 24 years old with superstar dev. We still got 62 million in cap space, but we have to keep in mind that we have to bring back Justin Fields eventually to a long-term deal. Darnell Mooney, he's only 25 years old, 82 overall, star dev. He's not a scheme fit though, so I think I might wait till the end of the year and see how things are with him. Cole Kmet, definitely want to bring him back. He's a scheme fit, 80 overall, star dev. He's only 24, so he's going to continue to get better. He's coming back. Travis Gibson, he is not a scheme fit, but he is 77 overall with star dev, so I do like that about him, but I'm going to wait. Kicker Cairo Santos, man, I would go ahead and try to bring you back. You want to come back? He needs a bigger offer to overcome his team not being a fit. Well, okay. Defensive tackle Justin Jones is a scheme fit, but he's 27 with normal dev, 75 overall. I'm going to pass on him. Taysom Hill, what the heck? I didn't know he was on the team. He's a 70 tight end. That's crazy. And wouldn't you know it, we made it to the playoffs again for the 2nd year in a row. We actually won the division with the 10-7 record, and everyone else in the division just fell off. The Packers went 7-10, the Vikings went 6-11, the Lions went 6-11. So I don't know what happened to them, but their loss is our gain. Let's check out the stats for this team and see how we did. 22nd ranked offense, so the offense is starting to fall off, so maybe the Atlanta offense isn't so great, but we still got the 5th ranked defense. So the Bears defense is a good playbook to use in Madden 23 for sure. Justin Fields still had a great year though, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, 62% completion with the 100 QB rating. I'll take that every year. Rushing wise, David Montgomery only barely over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 yards per carry. Justin Fields had 339 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert had 246 yards with 5 touchdowns. Wide receivers, Darnell Mooney had 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, 873 yards, 8 touchdowns. Tight end Cole Kmet had 755 yards, 3 touchdowns. KJ Osborne had 745 yards with 7 touchdowns. And Luke Trapp, he only had 37 catches, but he still had 611 yards with 7 touchdowns at a 16.5 yards per catch. That's pretty high. Defensively, we got Tremaine Edmonds leading the team in tackles with 115. Derwin James had 98 tackles. Van Ginkel had 98 tackles. Jaquan Brisker had 94 TFLs. Robert Quinn had 19 TFLs. Greg Gaines had 13 sacks. Robert Quinn led the team with 13. Nice. Roquan Smith had 12 sacks. That's great to see. Interceptions. Derwin James had 4. So Derwin James had 98 tackles, 4 TFLs, half a sack, and 4 interceptions. Jaquan Brisker had 3 interceptions with 1.5 sacks. Eddie Jackson had 2 interceptions. Jalen Johnson had 2, and Greedy Williams had 1. We're going to be playing against the Carolina Panthers. We're a 3 seed and they're a 6 seed. Buccaneers had a bye week. The Raiders had a bye week on the other side. Let's see if we can get us a playoff win. We're playing in Chicago. We jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carolina tied it up 7-7. We got a safety 9-7, and then Carolina scored 14-9. 21-9, Carolina's winning. 28-9, Carolina's blowing us out in the third quarter. We come back, score a touchdown, 28-16, 31-16, 38-16, 41-16. Carolina's playbooks are just, their offensive playbook is just overpowered in the Madden 23. Another playoff loss. Checking out the yearly awards, Patrick Mahomes won MVP. We have Justin Fields coming in 6th for MVP. And then we came in 10th for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, Corey Davis with the Packers. Okay. Defensive Player of the Year, we don't have anybody on here. Robert Quinn came in 8th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Trapp came in 4th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody. Best Quarterback, Justin Fields came in 5th. Best Running Back, nothing. Best Wide Receiver, nobody on there. Best Offensive Lineman, McCoy came in 6th. Best Defensive Lineman, Robert Quinn came in 7th. Best Linebacker, Roquan Smith came in 3rd. Best Defensive Back, Brisker came in. How the heck did Brisker get up there? He was a backup safety. Alright, we'll take it. And then Santos came in 3rd for Best Kicker. 2023 season recap. The Colts beat the Buccaneers 28-27 in the Super Bowl, and Matt Ryan won Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes won MVP of the regular season. Zach Taylor at the Bengals won Coach of the Year. Corey Davis, we saw he won Offensive Player of the Year with the Packers. TJ Watt with the Steelers won Defensive Player of the Year. Darnell Mooney is available. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and bring him back. We still have, I think we have like 60 million of cap space. Oh, he wants to go to another team. We'll pass on that. Travis Gibson, I think I'm gonna, let's see how much he wants. Let me see. 2 years, 16 million. I mean, the defense has been top 5 for 2 years in a row, so try to keep it the same. He's coming back, all right. Cairo Santos, bring him back. He's always like right up there in the top 3 kickers. Nope, never mind. He's going to free agency. Okay. Justin Jones, defensive tackle. I think I'm gonna let him walk and try to find someone better. And pretty much with all the other guys, same thing. Lucas Patrick, I think I'm gonna let him walk. Looking at the team salaries to see if there's anywhere where we can cut some people and make some money, free up some cap space. I mean, we already have $76 million in cap space available, which is great. Robert Quinn, he's on the last year of his deal. He's gonna be making $17 million, but if we cut him, we can save $13 million. But I don't want to do that. He's 34 years old, which is, getting pretty old. He's still a 78 overall, but he's been really productive for us. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep him. And same with everyone else. I'm not gonna cut anybody, but I always like to come over here and look to see if there's any of the bad contracts that teams have, or as the players start getting older, they start regressing. Maybe you can save some money. Always check that out. This free agency class is insane. They have a lot of guys available here. I'm not gonna be able to get any of them, but Nick Bosa is here. Justin Jefferson is available. Justin Herbert is available. Tristan Wirfs is available. Rashawn Gary is available. Mike Evans, Jeffrey Simmons, Antoine Winfield Jr., Devin White, Trayvon Diggs, Jerry Jeudy, Darius Slay, Cam Akers, Bobby Wagner, Marquise Brown. It just goes on and on. I'm not gonna be able to get into these guys because I don't want to set myself up to not be able to afford to re-sign Justin Fields, obviously. Signing Ed Oliver, a defensive tackle. He's 26 years old and he's an 86 overall superstar, X-Factor, scheme fit. And then also bringing in left guard Jonah Jackson. He's 27, 80 overall, star dev. for the offensive line spot that we need to fill. In the first round of the draft, we have pick number 21. There's a couple of quarterbacks available up here, but I'm not interested in a quarterback. There's a running back. We're not interested in running back. Defensive tackle, we don't really need that. Really don't need any of these positions, but I looked at this free safety, and he seems to be the best option that I have available. He has elite agility. He runs a 4.5 40, which is a 6th best, and then he's first in vertical jump, second in broad jump, first in the 20-yard shuttle. So he has B block shedding, A catching, B hit power, and B tackle. So safeties, you know, we want them to be able to hit and tackle, and also be able to get interceptions. So I'm gonna draft them and see how it goes. He has normal dev, only 88 speed. That's terrible. In the second round of the draft, these two quarterbacks are still here. They're supposed to go in the first round, so they're probably not very good at all. Checked out, what was I looking at down here? Oh, this outside linebacker that's a pass coverage scheme fit. So it seems like in Madden it's hard to find pass coverage scheme fit outside linebackers. They're like few and far in between. This guy is projected to go second or third round. We got him 50% scouted. He's 6'1", 221 pounds. And I was looking at him, his physicals, he has great on everything except for speed is good and his strength is decent. He only ran a 4.69 40-yard dash, which is like really slow for who you would think is a pass coverage linebacker that should be able to keep up with wide receivers and tight ends. But if you look over here, his awareness is A, his man coverage is A. I don't know how his man coverage is A whenever he doesn't have very good speed, but it is what it is. I'm about to draft him and see what happens. 82 speed, but he has hit and dev. I'll take that. The safety we drafted in the first round has 75 overall, even though he's a normal dev, but he's a scheme fit. Kind of slow, but I think it's still a pretty decent pick. The linebacker that we drafted in the second round, Tyrell Darby, had hit and dev. He looks like he's actually going to be pretty decent if he has time to develop. Said that his man coverage was an A. Well, where's his man coverage? 64, that's A man coverage. Okay, I guess so. And then the computer drafted everyone else. They drafted this running back who's a 74 overall. He only has normal dev, but that's still a pretty good pick by the computer to get us a backup running back. Computer also drafted this defensive end who has hit and dev, 23 years old. He's only a 60, oh, it says 67, I think 66 overall, yeah. Also, the computer drafted this quarterback, Tim Clemens, who looks like a ventriloquist dummy doll serial killer. That's all I'm going to say about that. And they drafted this tight end. I don't think that he was a hidden dev, was he? No. But this other running back that they drafted down here in the 7th round has hidden dev. David Brayton has hidden dev. He's 22 years old, 68 overall. The left tackle that we drafted in the first round last season ended up being star dev, but he's up to 77 overall. We got Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 1, and we got Luke Trapp. I think that was his name, Luke Trapp, starting at wide receiver 2, and he's a star dev, up to 77 overall. I think both these guys were 72. We're gonna have Osborne as wide receiver 3, and then I'll put McCray at running back 2 above Herbert, since Herbert's probably not gonna be here after this year. Offensive line was looking really good. Defensively, Van Ginkel dropped down to normal dev, which is not good. We do have Darby that we drafted. I'm gonna have him backing up Roquan Smith. Derwin James is up to Superstar X Factor, 97 overall. Eddie Jackson's at 84. Jalen Johnson's at 88. We got Ed Oliver at defensive tackle with Superstar X Factor, 88 overall. And then Godfrey is gonna be coming in, backing him up with hidden dev. Robert Quinn dropped down to normal dev, but I'm gonna have him starting. He's been productive for us a lot. So Greedy Williams is up to 80 overall. This team right here might be the one that gets us a playoff win, but I don't know. It seems like every time we make it to the playoffs, we lose in the first game. At the mid-season point, once again, we are 3-4. Like, it seems we are going 3-4 every season at the mid-season point. And then in the second half of the season, we just win like every game and go to the playoffs. Hopefully that happens again this year, but we will see if that happens. We got players available to re-sign. Center Eric McCoy. We got $103 million in cap space, so that must mean Justin Fields. I want to go ahead and sign him to a long-term deal. Try to 5 years and see what he says. That's exactly the offer he was hoping to get. All right, he's coming back. Now we got $77 million in cap space left. All right, I'm definitely going to bring back Eric McCoy. He's only 27 years old with star dev, 84 overall. He still has a little bit of room to grow. Try this 3-year deal. Oh, he wants more money, more years. Eddie Jackson, I think I'm just going to let him walk because he's already 30 years old. What is his speed? His speed's 88. Yeah, I'm just going to let him walk. I don't want to spend money on that position whenever we have 2 safeties that we drafted that seem to be doing pretty good. Greg Gaines, I think I'm going to let him walk. He was good for a couple years, and maybe we can try to upgrade that position. David Walters, left guard. Let me see how much he wants. 10 million over 2 years. We'll try to bring him back. He wants a bigger offer. Robert Quinn, definitely going to let him walk. He's already getting up there in age, and I can't even negotiate with him anyways because it's week 9. End of the regular season, we ended up going 9-8. Did not make the playoffs. The Packers went 12-5 to win the division. The Lions went 10-7. So unfortunately, the Packers and the Lions actually decided to win games in the second half of the season, and we didn't win as many as we usually do. Check out the stats. Offensively, 29th ranked offense in the NFL. Dang, yeah, it's getting terrible. We're gonna have to make a switch on that. Defense 30th. What the heck happened? Justin Fields, 4,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's still a great year. Apparently the serial killer Tim Clemens had to come into play, so I guess Justin Fields got injured. But he still had 108 QB rating. He played in 16 games, so he missed one game, and then Clemens came in and threw 383 yards in one game. That's crazy. David Montgomery rushing had 1,091 yards, 4.1 per carry with 14 touchdowns. Justin Fields had 282 yards with 3 touchdowns. Backup running back rookie Reggie McCray had 194 yards and 6 touchdowns. Receiving, KJ Osborne. This guy's always getting all the catches over here, even though I keep on putting trap at the slot receiver spot. Well, I guess the computer keeps moving them because I saw that they did that last season. But KJ Osborne had 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, pretty good season from him. Cole Kmet, 994 yards, 7 touchdowns. Luke Trapp, 994 yards, 8 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley only had 60 catches for 770 yards and 3 touchdowns. How many games did he play in? 16, so he missed 1 game too. Luke Trapp missed 13 games, so he would have had over 1,000 yards for sure, probably. Defensively, what's going on over here? Jaquan Brisker led the team in tackles with 136. The backup safety. I don't know what the heck that's about. Tremaine Edmonds had 121 tackles. Derwin James had 96. Robert Quinn had 15 TFLs. Ed Oliver had 9. Gaines had 9 sacks. Roquan Smith led the team with 16.5 sacks. Robert Quinn had 13 sacks at 34 years old. Ed Oliver had 10 sacks. Gaines even had 5 sacks as a defensive tackle. Derwin James had 2 sacks. Jaquan Brisker had 1.5 sacks. The cornerback, Kyler Gordon, had 1.5 sacks. Interceptions, Greedy Williams had 3. Gordon had 2. Tremaine Edmonds had 2. Eddie Jackson had 2. Roquan Smith had 1. Derwin James had 1. Brisker had a sack. Brisker had the season of his life. 134 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 interception. Roquan Smith won best linebacker. Nobody won anything before that. Best defensive back, Greedy Williams. I figured that the safety that we had might be up here, but I figured wrong. The Colts are in the Super Bowl again. Isn't that the 3rd year in a row they made it in this rebuild that we've done? Packers won 41-39 to get their 5th Super Bowl championship, and their quarterback Blake Lafferty won MVP. Josh Allen won MVP with the Bills of the regular season. Zach Taylor with the Bengals won Coach of the Year. Jonathan Taylor with the Colts won Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year again. I'm gonna try to get Eric McCoy again. He wanted more years and more money last time because he's not necessarily interested in coming back to our team. He has a low interest level. He wants to be close to home, which is in Texas. He wants no income tax, which Illinois does not have, and he wants a warm weather state, which is definitely not Illinois. But he's coming back whenever you offer him more money. That exceeds everything else. Greg Gaines, I'm gonna let him walk. David Edwards, I will try to bring him back. I think he didn't like the deal last time either. Let's just bump this up a little bit. If he takes it, cool. If not, alright, he's coming back. Tevin Jenkins, the right tackle, I do want to try to bring him back too. He's still 27 years old, star dev. He hasn't necessarily developed like a ton, but he's been doing good. No, he's going to free agency. I switched to the Indianapolis Colts playbook since they've been to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. I'm sure it has to do with the running back that they have over there, but it's still the same scheme that we have, which is the West Coast zone run. It's the same as theirs. It's a zone run West Coast scheme. So I'm going to stick with the same defense that we've been having. It fell off this past year, but maybe they can get it back because we were top 5 for 2 years in a row. These are players I was able to get in free agency. I got Patrick Surtain at cornerback. He's 92 overall, superstar dev, 25 years old. We got BJ Hill at defensive tackle. I did try to get a way better defensive tackle. I forgot what his name was, but he was like a 93 overall. I had the highest offer on the table for him, a bunch of money, and he turned me down to go to the Cardinals. This is who it was. Kenny Clark, defensive tackle. He went to the Cardinals instead. And then Aaron Donald, I tried to get him too, but he decided to go to the Cardinals also. So the Cardinals defensive line is about to be insane. We have pick number 18 since we didn't make the playoffs. So this is the highest pick that we've had. It's pretty much a bunch of stuff available that we don't need. I mean, I could always use an offensive lineman, right tackle, but I'm thinking we really need a defensive end on both sides, left end and right end. And there's not any up here that are good. This guy right here is not good at all. But this middle linebacker looks like he's pretty decent. So what I'm thinking is maybe I can draft him to replace Tremaine Edmonds at middle linebacker, and then try to trade Tremaine Edmonds for a defensive end or something that we need. He doesn't look too bad. He has the fastest 40-yard dash, 4.43 40-yard dash. His skills, he has B black shed with B play rec, and he has A zone coverage. He's only 55% scouted, so basically just taking a chance and hoping he's good. Rudy Leach, 90 speed, hidden dev. Looks like a great pick. I'm still looking for defensive ends, but they decided that they're going to put 47 safeties here. We got a safety right here. It's a scheme fit. Safety right here is a scheme fit. Safety right here is a scheme fit. Safety that's a scheme fit. There's just safeties for days over here. I looked at these two defensive ends. We do need a run stop in left end and a speed rush in right end, but they both do not look good at all. So what I'm thinking, I went through and I looked at these safeties. So maybe we can draft one of these safeties and then use him as trade bait to try to get a defensive end later. This guy right here looks like the best of the ones that are remaining to me. His physical skills, he's basically top 5 in everything on his pro day. And then his skills, he has A tackle and B black shed, which is pretty good for a strong safety. So I'm gonna draft him. I hope he has hidden dev. Ooh, hidden dev, nice. Rudy Leach, the middle linebacker we drafted in the first round, is a 73 overall with hidden dev. Speed is 90. His tackle is 82, but it's taking a hit on a morale, down by 2 for some reason. But he looks like he's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and start him at middle linebacker, and I am going to try to trade Tremaine Edmonds to try to get a defensive end. This strong safety we drafted in the second round, he might be put into the trade with trade bait. He has a hidden dev. He looks like he could be pretty good. The computer drafted this left guard, Madison Simpson, who is a hidden dev with 74. Well, he's actually technically a 73 overall. The computer's making some pretty good picks over here. They also drafted this wide receiver, Ben Hillhouse, who has a hidden dev trait. He's 6'5", 235 pounds, and he's a scheme fit. Computer's coming in clutch here. They drafted this defensive end. He has a hidden dev. He's not a scheme fit though. He's a power rusher, but we need either a speed rusher or a run stopper. So he might be trade bait too, potentially. And then they drafted the rest of these guys, but was this guy hidden dev? No, he wasn't. Okay. But yeah, the computer did pretty good on the draft. At defensive end, we lost Robert Quinn, so we need another pass rushing defensive end. The computer has Gibson over here right now, but I want to try to replace Gibson and this guy Robinson. So on this side, we need a run stopper, and on this side, we need a speed rusher. Try to get this defensive line back up a little bit. Trading for Chase Young from the Washington Commanders. I traded that middle linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, a first-round pick next season and a second-round pick next season. It was kind of a lopsided trade. We had to give away a lot, but we really needed that defensive end. Trading for a defensive end from the Vikings, Rousseau. I'm trading our left guard Edwards, our defensive end Gibson, who we're going to replace Rousseau with, and then a 6th round pick Okay, so after all the trading, this is what the starting lineup looks like. We got Simpson starting at right guard. That's the guard that the computer drafted. I don't know why I couldn't talk. He has hidden dev, so that's why I was able to trade the other guard away. We got Jones coming in at right tackle. He's been developing slowly. He's up to 75, so I'll take it. We got Cole Kmet at tight end. He's up to superstar, 85 overall. We still got Trapp at wide receiver. Justin Fields is at 82. Montgomery's up to a 91. Calvin Ridley, and then we got Hillhouse, wide receiver that the computer drafted, coming in at wide receiver 3 with hidden dev. Defensively, we got Leach starting at middle linebacker since we had to trade Tremaine Edmonds to get Chase Young. Roquan Smith's up to a 95. Brisker, I moved him to free safety since he's been having insane years as a backup. We got Derwin James at 98 overall, superstar. Armstrong's a rookie safety that the computer drafted that has hidden dev. And we got Rousseau coming in at left end as a scheme fit. We got BJ Hill at defensive tackle through free agency. He's a scheme fit, 83 overall. Ed Oliver is up to a 91 overall superstar X Factor. Chase Young is a 93 superstar. And we got Patrick Surtain as a scheme fit. Cornerback number 1 is a 93 overall superstar. Greedy Williams coming in at cornerback 3. So I think that we upgraded the defense like pretty significantly besides the middle linebacker spot, but hopefully that's not a huge issue. So we'll see how this season goes. Here we are at the mid-season point. We are 5-2 and currently leading the division. Off to a great start. Checking out players available to bring back. We got Calvin Ridley. I'm not too sure if I want to try to bring him back or not. I think I'm going to hold off on him. Jonah Jackson at left guard. I will try to bring him back. See if we can offer him this neutral deal. He's coming back. We got kicker Will Lutz. Yeah, we need a kicker, so it's exactly the offer he hoped for. BJ Hill, I'm gonna wait on him. Kyler Gordon, the rookie that the Bears actually drafted in real life. This is gonna be his 5th year. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring him back. He's coming back. Jaquan Brisker, ooh. Surprised he's not asking for $100 million since he's making all these tackles. He's coming back. Van Ginkel, definitely let him go. Should never have signed him. Braxton Jones, Here we are at the end of the regular season. We ended up going 12-5. I guess the Packers ended up winning the division, but we still made the playoffs against Carolina, team that we love to play against in the playoffs, who always beat us. Check out the season stats. We had the 28th ranked offense, terrible. Defense, 3rd, so the defense stepped up big time. So offensively, since we switched to the Colts playbook, they don't really throw the ball a ton. It's mostly running, but Justin Fields had a pretty good year, 3,700 yards, 41 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 63% completion, and 107 QB rating, so that's really good. David Montgomery had his best season yet, 1,500 yards, 4.9 per carry with 9 touchdowns. Reggie McCray had 458 yards and 4 touchdowns. Justin Fields only had 232 yards. Receiving, Luke Trapp led the team with 1,062 yards, 6 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley almost had 1,000 yards with 12 touchdowns. Cole Kmet only had 634 yards, 4 touchdowns. Velus Jones Jr. had 581 yards, 10 touchdowns. I don't know what's going on. I kept on moving Ben Billhouse up to the 3rd receiver and also putting him in the slot multiple times, but computer just kept on putting this guy back over. Defensively, Rudy Leach, the rookie middle linebacker, led the team with 154 tackles. Tyrell Darby had 111 tackles. Dang, that's another rookie that we had the last year. Derwin James, 101 tackles. Ed Oliver, 18 TFLs. Roquan Smith with 15. Chase Young with 12. Rousseau with 10 TFLs. Roquan Smith led the team in sacks with 17.5. Chase Young with big 14 sacks. Ed Oliver, 8.5 sacks at the defensive tackle slot. Rousseau, 7 sacks. So trading for these defensive ends definitely paid off. Darby's had 3 sacks. Ginkel had 2. Leach had 1.5. Derwin James, 1.5. Patrick Surtain led the team in interceptions with 4. Like to see that. Jalen Johnson had 3. Rudy Leach had 2. The middle linebacker rookie. Greedy Williams had 2 interceptions. Roquan Smith had an interception. Derwin James had 1. Brisker even had one. Brisker only had 65 tackles, 1 interception. Looking at the playoff bracket, we are number 5 seed going against the number 4 seed Carolina Panthers. We got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Bucks, and the Cowboys, and the Packers had a bye week. We are in the playoff game against Carolina, playing in Carolina this time. We jump up to a 10-0 lead. Carolina comes back 10-7, 17-7. We're still in the lead. 17-14, Carolina coming back. We scored 23-14, 23-21, 26-21 in the second half, 33-21. We're winning, 33-24, still winning. It's a close game, up 41-24. We're taking the lead, running away with it. 41-24 is the final score. We win our first playoff game finally. Finally beat Carolina. Thank you. Here, looking at the playoff bracket again, we are going to be playing against the Seattle Seahawks, who are our number 6 seed. And on the other side, we have the Buccaneers against the Packers. So hopefully we win this game and we have to play against one of these teams. Down 3-0 to start the game. Not much going on. Seattle scores 10-0, 10-3. We kicked the field goal. 17-3, not looking good. 24-3 at halftime. We're just not a good team when we play playoff games at home. We're down 31-3, 31-10 in the fourth. It's not looking good. 34-10, probably pretty much gone. Yeah, 41-10 is the final score. We lost in the second round of the playoffs. Back to the drawing board. Roquan Smith won Defensive Player of the Year, and Chase Young came in 4th, along with Rudy Leach, the rookie middle linebacker, coming in 10th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ben Hillhouse, wide receiver, came in 10th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nothing. Best quarterback, Justin Fields, came in 4th. Best running back, David Montgomery had the best year of his career, and he came in 9th for best running back. Wide receivers, we don't have nothing going on there. Offensive line, McCoy came in 4th, and Simpson came in 7th. Defensive line, Chase Young won Defensive Lineman of the Year, and Ed Oliver came in 6th. Best linebacker, Roquan Smith. Obviously, if he won Defensive Player of the Year, he should win that too. Patrick Surtain came in 4th with best defensive back. Green Bay beat the Raiders 34-10 in the Super Bowl. Devontae Wyatt won MVP for the Super Bowl with the Packers. Ethan Bates with the Seahawks won MVP of the regular season. Sean McDermott with the Bills won Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Our boy Roquan Smith won Defensive Player of the Year. Looking at players available to re-sign, we got Calvin Ridley here, 31 years old. He wants 3 years, $47 million. I think I'm just gonna hold off on that. We got $86 million in cap space though. BJ Hill, I'm gonna let him walk. Braxton Jones, I'll probably just let him walk. Probably just end up letting all these other guys go. They're all older or really low ratings with normal div. No, I might just go ahead and try to bring Calvin Ridley back on a 3-year deal and see what he says. He's coming back. All right. It's going to be the 5th and final year of the rebuild, so I'm switching the offense to Tampa Bay offense so we can try to get Justin Fields his best year and win a Super Bowl. We'll switch to the vertical zone run, 78% scheme fit, which is pretty good. That's the offense they run, the vertical zone run. Looking at free agency, I was able to get right guard Zion Johnson and defensive end Christian Wilkins, who I'm going to move to defensive tackle because he's going to be a scheme fit run stopper. We got pick number 27. Pretty much don't need anybody. Our team is basically stacked at this point, but what we could use is a wide receiver that's a deep threat. Since we switched to a new offensive scheme, all of our wide receivers are, I think, playmaker is what we all had for the previous playbook. So I'm going to draft this guy. And he's got hidden dead with 95 speed. Sick. We are in the draft recap. Wide receiver that we drafted in the first round. He's a 76 overall, 95 speed, 86 catching. Looks like he's going to be great for this last year of the rebuild. I'll let the computer draft everyone else. They drafted this defensive end who has hidden dev in the second round at 72 overall. Drafted this cornerback who has hidden dev in the third round. He's a 70 overall. Or he's a 71. They drafted this linebacker Juan Pill. He was not hidden dev, but this tight end was a hidden dev in the 6th round. And then also this 7th round pick, I think he was a hidden dev also. Yeah, computers out here just drafting all these amazing players. The offensive line has come along great. The right guard is supposed to be Simpson, but he's injured for a week, so it's not showing him right there. We got Cole Kmet's 87 overall star dev. He was up to a superstar, but he fell off. Down one for whatever reason. Trap is up to 84 overall star dev. Justin Fields only made it up to 84 overall star div. He actually had some really good seasons so far. David Montgomery has been a great back. Calvin Ridley was okay coming over in free agency. This wide receiver I drafted is going to be the third wide receiver, and I'm going to be trying to make him play in the slot to get him more targets, see if the computer allows it or not. Defensively, the weak spot we have is Darby over here, outside linebacker, but he actually had a good year last year. Leach is a 79 overall star div. Roquan Smith is finally up to superstar, 95 overall. He was like a 98 overall last year with just star div. Derwin James, 97 overall superstar. Brisker's up to 83 overall star div. Patrick Surtain, 95 overall superstar. Chase Young, 95 overall superstar. Ed Oliver, 94 overall superstar X Factor. Wilkins is 87 overall star. Russo's 87 overall star. Greedy Williams is 84 overall star. And then we got Gordon coming in, 82 overall star. So I have high hopes for this team. We're getting Super Bowl or bust this year. At the mid-season point, we were 4-3, basically tied with everyone else in the division. They're all 4-2 or 4-3, so it's pretty much anyone's race right now. We went 12-5. We won the division, and it appears that we got a first-round bye because we don't have a playoff game right now. Yep, we got a bye week. That's great for the last season of the rebuild. Let's check out the stats. Joe Burrow had 6,300 yards. Offense was 8th, so yeah, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is better. Defense first in the NFL. Here we go. Let's go. Justin Fields, 5,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 17 interceptions is a little high. He had a 100 QB rating. That's pretty good. David Montgomery, 1,100 yards, 4.5 per carry, 17 touchdowns. Justin Fields, 265 rushing yards with 1 touchdown. Calvin Ridley had 1,579 yards on 116 catches, the best season that he had for us. 8 touchdowns. Trapp had 1,032 yards with 5 touchdowns. Cole Kmet, the tight end, had 1,023 yards and 6 touchdowns. Ben Hillhouse had 830 yards and 10 touchdowns. As Gerald Robinson, the rookie that we drafted, he had 394 yards and 5 touchdowns. Not too bad. Defensively, Rudy Leach led the team in tackles with 124. Roquan Smith had 110. TFLs, Ed Oliver had 17, Wilkins had 14, Chase Young had 13, and Russo had 10. Looks like our defensive line was out here balling. Chase Young had 15 sacks, Ed Oliver had 14 sacks, Christian Wilkins had 13.5 sacks. Defensive tackles going crazy, and even Russo had 10 sacks. Roquan Smith had 4.5. Rudy Leach, the middle linebacker, had 2 sacks. Sorry, my voice started crackling there for some reason. Rudy Leach had 2 sacks. Darby had 1 sack. Brian Fleck had a sack. Jalen Johnson had 4 interceptions. Roquan Smith had 2. Kyler Gordon had 2. Patrick Surtain had 2. Leach had 1. Darby had 1. Greedy Williams and Brisker. Joe Burrow threw for 6,303 yards with 54 touchdowns. Freaking crazy. I guess he didn't have like an elite receiver. Jamar Chase, 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. We're gonna be playing against the 9-8 New York Giants in the playoffs. They beat the Washington football team. The Washington Commanders, 34-31. So hopefully we can beat them, and then we're gonna be playing against the Packers or the Vikings in the next round. Here we are in the playoff game, playing at home in the snow. We take a 3-0 lead, 10-0 lead against the Giants. Going into the second quarter, we're still up 10-0. Not much offense are going on. Giants scored a touchdown, 10-7. They got a safety, went out 17-10, 24-10, 31-10. They're blowing us out. What's going on here? 34-17. Are you serious? We're gonna lose against them after we dominated them in the first half? Come on, man. Thought for sure we were gonna make a Super Bowl run in this season. 34-24. We lost, man. Sucks. Looking at the yearly awards we had for Defensive Player of the Year, Ed Oliver came in 3rd, Chase Young came in 4th, and Christian Wilkins came in 6th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Robertson came in 2nd. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nothing. Best Quarterback, Justin Fields came in 8th. Best Running Back, David Montgomery came in 4th. Best Wide Receiver, Calvin Ridley came in 9th. McCoy came in 9th for best offensive line. Best defensive line, Brian Burns won it, but we had Ed Oliver in second, Chase Young in third, Christian Wilkins in fourth, and Rousseau was in 10th. Our defensive line was nasty, man. No linebackers? Where's Roquan Smith at? Best defensive back, we got Jalen Johnson coming in 6th. The Packers beat the Jaguars 38-30. Blake Lafferty, Super Bowl MVP for the Packers. He's their quarterback apparently. Joe Burrow won MVP of the regular season. He definitely deserved it, throwing for 6,300 yards and 54 touchdowns. Doug Peterson with the Jaguars won Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year for the 87th time. Deion Jones won Defensive Player of the Year at the Vikings. That's something you don't ever see. So this is what the final team looks like after our 5 years. Fortunately, we weren't able to win the Super Bowl. We made it to the playoffs a lot though, but the offensive line looks great. Looks really good. Tight end Cole Kmet did great for us. Justin Fields had like a really solid 5 years with us. That 1 year we did the Colts offense was his worst season, but pretty much expected that. I don't want to just use the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense in every single rebuild and have every quarterback throwing for 85,000 yards. I mean, unless if y'all want me to, that's pretty much the only way that you can get these quarterbacks to throw for a lot of yards. And apparently the Cincinnati Bengals offense is pretty good if Joe Burrow's throwing for 6,300 yards. But David Montgomery was a solid running back for us. Calvin Ridley was hit or miss, had a good last season. Trapp was a pretty good draft pick at wide receiver. And on defense, we had a lot of turnover. Roquan Smith has stayed with us the whole time. And who else? Brisker had been with us the whole time. Derwin James did good. Jalen Johnson was with us the whole time. But we made this defense really nasty over here though. I think we have the best defensive line in football right now. But that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully y'all like what I'm putting out here. If y'all do, so please subscribe, hit the like button, leave something in the comments. I don't know if y'all have any type of feedback on the volume. I did turn the mic up pretty loud, and I noticed I can hear myself breathing a lot more, but I don't really have the greatest mic at the moment, but I do plan on upgrading that pretty soon. So yeah, just let me know what y'all think. Appreciate it. Peace.